10 hard-hitting facts about Bloodsport, Van Damme's cult classic martial arts masterpiece. What started as a possible fantasy story went on to become one of the most famous cult action films in the history of Hollywood. Well, the truth behind Bloodsport is as shady and dark as Voldemort's black magic, but we will try to remain as honest and authentic as is humanly possible. In 1980, Frank Dux revealed his experiences about a secret Kumite tournament fought deep within jungles. A few years later, a film was being produced with Frank Dux as the inspiration. Bloodsport follows the story of a military man who leaves the job to pursue a noted martial arts tournament. He was trained in martial arts by a great teacher named Senzo Tanaka. After getting his invitation, Frank Dux fights several opponents, but his archenemy remains Chong Li, who has won the Kumite many times and holds the record for the fastest knockout. A trend that started back in the 80s that continues till now is that if a man from the armed forces quits, he is sure to go on a rampage and kill anything that moves. However, Bloodsport came as a breath of fresh air, ensuring that unnecessary killing was condemned. This was a welcome move and the audience loved it, but that's not the only reason for its success as a cult classic martial arts flick. In this video, we will introduce you to this great film that might well be termed as Van Damme's magnum opus. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Number 1. It's a true story. Well, sort of. Ever heard of the phrase, "We can neither deny nor confirm that statement"? The November 1980 issue of the Black Belt magazine introduced someone named Frank Dux and his fantastic ordeals in the depths of Southeast Asia, where he allegedly fought and won a secret martial arts tournament called Kumite. This very article became the source material for the 1988 film. Kumite is supposed to be a fighting tournament where death is one of the possibilities because there are practically no restrictions or enough rules. If we are to believe Dux, then he also served as a CIA operative and his job led him to travel the world where he would take down bad guys with his martial arts. Frank Dux claims that he became a ninja under the tutelage of Senzo Tanaka, aka Tiger, who descended from a family with over 40 generations of warriors. These claims are extremely difficult to refute or prove because of Frank's claims that the tournament was held in extreme secrecy and that the CIA would never reveal one of their agents. Believing these theories and fantastic claims would be nothing short of believing in fantasy. But then Dux claims to possess the Kumite trophy that he won, and also that one US Navy Lieutenant Commander, Alexander Morton, agrees with his claims of covert operations. We are of the opinion that while some of these claims might be a beautiful figment of Mr. Frank Dux' imagination, there might also be some truth to it. Because there's not a living soul that could prove the existence of Mr. Tanaka or the Kumite tournament Dux won, we conclude that there might be more exaggeration than facts. Nevertheless, Dux' claims led to the production of a film based on his life, and he acted as the inspiration, fight coordinator, and special trainer to Van Damme in the film Bloodsport. Number 2. There are a number of stories about how Jean-Claude Van Damme landed the lead. Jean-Claude Camille Francois Van Varenberg came to Los Angeles from Belgium with the hopes of using his martial arts skills to become an action hero. However, the early days of Jean-Claude were difficult, and to become Mr. Van Damme, the muscles from Brussels had to wait. He took up various odd jobs like driving limos and delivering pizzas. He's known to have bumped into Cannon Films head Menachem Golan, and without wasting the opportunity, he showed Golan many moves, including his famous high kick. Golan immediately offered him $25,000 and signed him. However, in a 1987 interview, Van Damme claimed that he called Cannon Films and lied that he was a friend to Menachem Golan. Once the meeting came to place, he showed off his skills to Golan, and in Van Damme's words,
"I did my split Right.
I show my muscles and I say I'm the best and I'm not too expensive right now.
However, the interview itself seemed choreographed and conducted with the sole intention of promoting the film. The old good Dux, however, refutes these stories and is of the opinion that writer Sheldon Lettich first noticed Van Damme's talent during the filming of No Retreat, No Surrender, in which Van Damme stars as Ivan Krasinski. Interestingly, Michael Dudikoff was considered to play the character of Frank Dux. Dudikoff had acted in other canon films like American Ninja and Platoon Leader, but the filmmakers let him go because he was 6'2" and way too tall for the role. Irrespective of how Mr. Jean-Claude got Bloodsport, one thing is certain, that had it not been for him, the film wouldn't have been the cult classic that it is today, and Van Damme would have taken many more years to become one of the leading martial arts heroes of Hollywood. Number 3. No stuntmen were used in filming. While the film stars actors like Van Damme and Forrest Whitaker, the production wanted to make the Kumite fights authentic. To achieve this, instead of going with stuntmen, they chose to go with real-life martial arts champions. Muay Thai fighter Paco is played by Paulo Tacha. He was born and brought up in South Africa and went to Thailand to learn Muay Thai. Tacha is known to be one of the first foreigners to have fought and won prestigious competitions in both Thailand and China, and to this day remains one of the most renowned advocates of Muay Thai. Michel Kissy, who played Swan Paredes, used to train alongside Van Damme in Belgium. He tagged along with Van Damme to LA in the hopes of becoming an actor. He finally got a small part in Bloodsport and later went on to play the antagonist in Kickboxer. These trained fighters bring an added vigor and flavor to the fight sequences, and praise should be given to the filmmakers for foreseeing the impact of using trained professionals rather than stuntmen. Obviously, there are several great bouts throughout the film, but the marvelous video staff voted on the subject to decide the best one. We think the one between Frank Dux and Chong Li stole the show because of the sheer background that the fight held. Dux had broken Li's record for the fastest knockout, and this pretty much pissed off Chong. Number 4. Mortal Kombat took inspiration from Bloodsport. After Jean-Claude Van Damme starred in Bloodsport, producers approached Midway Games to create a game based on the movie. Midway Games saw this as an opportunity and approached Jean-Claude on their own, with a proposal to make a game based on his other film Bloodsport. Both parties shook on it. Ed Boon and John Tobias were called on board to create the game. However, Van Damme didn't want to be a part of the game anymore because he had to work on Universal Soldier, and it was probably against his stature to leave a movie for a video game, so he quit. The game was almost complete, but by now, the deal was dead. As Boon and Tobias had already worked on the story and theme, they decided to proceed without Van Damme. To give homage to that era's master martial artist and superstar, Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat shares the same initials as Jean-Claude Van Damme. Also, if you notice, the fatality called the Nut Punch is a trademark Van Damme move. Van Damme ended up adding to the game even after quitting it. Such is the influence of Van Damme in Bloodsport on the famous ultraviolent fighting series. Since we are on the subject, if you wish to deep dive into the Mortal Kombat characters, then check out our video titled 11 Demented and Tragic Backstories of Mortal Kombat Characters. We'll leave the link in the description. Number 5. Frank Dux may have lied about the Kumite. As mentioned earlier, Dux claimed to have learned his martial arts from Tanaka, who himself once fought the Kumite. And once Dux was old enough, he got his invitation for the fight in 1975 and went to the Bahamas to participate in a tournament that went on for 3 days and comprised 60 matches. Dux says that the fight between Chong Li and himself actually happened, and the film's cinematization was pretty accurate. However, it is difficult to comprehend why Dux would openly talk about an event that is supposed to be such a great secret. Why doesn't Dux just take one of us to the Kumite, and then all those who claim his stories to be a bunch of crazy fantasies will shut up? Dux was known to have served as a reserved Marine, but that hasn't stopped him from claiming that the US military has sabotaged his records. The Marine Corps said that Dux served between 1975 and 1981, but he never left the country during those years. Wait, that's not it. Dux also claims to have won a secret Medal of Honor, if something of that sort exists at all. These several conflicting statements that he's made over time about his childhood and professional life raise several concerns about his claims of the Kumite win. Jon Stewart, who authored the famous Black Belt magazine interview, later revealed that he regrets giving more importance to Dux' theories than necessary. No traces of the Tanaka family of warriors have ever been found in any martial art texts or independent historical texts, and furthermore, the existence of Senzo Tanaka himself is itself a mystery. Experts believe that a tournament of such grand stature, bringing fighters from across the globe, is impossible to go unnoticed. The details about the fight that Dux fought are also far-fetched and questionable. He claims that he won the tournament because of his new and pioneering fighting style. It was something no one else had seen before, and naturally the other contestants lost to him. Screenwriter Sheldon Lettich revealed in an interview that the only man who earlier seconded Dux' stories had later taken a U-turn and said that he was only saying what Dux had instructed him to. We will say no more and let you decide if you believe in Mr. Dux' theories or feel that it is just an old wives' tale. Number 6. Van Damme knocked a guy out for real. The makers ensured that they would use real-life fighters to add more authenticity to the fight sequences. However, there was another reason for pulling this stunt. The film was being made on a tight budget, and they couldn't really afford stuntmen. Therefore, it was important to ensure that everyone participating in the Kumite actually knew how to take a punch. Unfortunately, Van Damme proved to be a bit too much to Bernard Mariano, who was playing Sadiq Hussein. In their fight, Van Damme knocks down Bernard, and the referee declares Van Damme as the winner. But Bernard rises and attempts to land a blow, but Van Damme knocks him down with a reverse elbow jab. In reality, Van Damme actually hit Bernard and knocked him down. You could see Van Damme's elbow striking Bernard. Thankfully, there was no major injury that Bernard faced, and the director chose to keep the original footage in the film.
Very good. But brick, not hit back.
Number 7. Bolo Yeung. Bolo Yeung's character of Chong Li played a great part in making Bloodsport a success. It's often said that a film is as great as its villain, and Chong Li was one of the most imposing villains ever. Despite being only 5'6", this man was muscular and showed an unbreakable resolve. His brute force and sadistic strength were enough to scare even the deadliest of fighters in the tournament, or even the real world. Naturally, the duel between Dux and Chong Li was one of the best ones in the history of movies. Yeung made his presence known in Hollywood through Bloodsport, but few know that he was already an experienced actor in films coming out of Hong Kong. He appeared opposite Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon and was a very close friend to him, knowing him from his bodybuilding days in Hong Kong. After the unfortunate and unexpected death of Lee, Yeung acted in several Bruceploitation films, and many years later, he once again shared the screen with Van Damme in Double Impact. However, this mean-looking man is actually a sweet guy. Dux said in an interview that he would bring his son to the sets and spend most of the downtime with him.
Are you ready?
Number 8. JCVD re-edited the movie himself to get it released. When Menachem Golan saw Bloodsport after its production, he hated it. Writer Sheldon Lettich revealed in an interview that Golan even doubted the acting skills of Van Damme and wanted to release the film direct to video. However, the movie sat on the shelves for 2 long years collecting dust. Later, Michael J. Duthie was asked to edit the film once again, and this time Van Damme was helping him, especially with the fight sequences. It turns out that Van Damme has great skills when it comes to editing action scenes. He edited most of the fights, and the film looked really good, but Menachem Golan was still not convinced. Even Dux revealed in an interview that he thought that the first cut of the film was going to ruin his career. He was later relieved when Van Damme was allowed to go in and re-edit it. So what changed his mind? Well, it was Samuel Hadida. Hadida had released No Retreat, No Surrender in France and had become Van Damme's fan. When he heard that a Van Damme movie was collecting dust, he asked Golan to sell it to him. This intrigued people at Cannon Films and led to the final release. Having said that, We would have probably lost this cult classic had it not been for Van Damme's hidden talent of film editing, and we are grateful that everything turned out for good in the end. Number 9. Frank Dux contributed more than being the inspiration. The filmmakers brought silk pajamas from Hong Kong, where the film was being shot. However, Frank Dux claimed that these clothes were not even close to the real costumes that he wore in his alleged Kumite fights. He was greatly disappointed and took the responsibility of acting as the costume designer himself. Because there was no surplus money to redo the uniforms and the crew was already running tight on budget, Dux instructed his then fiancée to send costumes. Dux also said that the black, blue, and red uniforms that Van Damme wears are actually his own. They had to be cut down because Dux was a bigger guy than Van Damme. Clearly, Mr. Dux is a perfectionist. Among several other claims made by Frank Dux, there's also one that he wrote the script for the film himself, but also says that Sheldon Lettich didn't like the script. Sheldon refutes these allegations and asserts that prior to the Bloodsport script, there was no other screenplay. However, Dux has said he wrote a script titled Enter the Ninja and presented it to Lettich. We are of the opinion that Dux is an eccentric storyteller, or else Bloodsport would have never been made. Telling a story and writing a script are two very different things, and with no substantiating evidence, this claim of writing the script seems like another of Dux's unprovable statements. Number 10. John Wick creators Chad Stahelski and David Leitch are looking to reboot Bloodsport. Everyone knows the kind of vigor and grace of the Keanu Reeves fights in the John Wick series. And not just him, almost all actors of the entire series are equally graceful in their own ways. According to 2019 reports, both Stahelski and David were looking into making a reboot of the cult classic that was once led by Van Damme. David Leitch has worked in action blockbusters like Atomic Blonde, Deadpool 2, and the Fast and Furious spin-off Hobbs and Shaw. While Chad Stahelski worked as a stunt double for Keanu Reeves in The Matrix and then went on to fill in a few gaps in the 1994 film The Crow after the sad and unexpected demise of Brandon Lee. Check out our video on The Crow to learn fascinating facts about the superhero and learn more about what exactly happened to Bruce Lee. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.